One of the best ways to make sure you have a hunt and a good hunt all season long is to not spook out your sanctuaries. I refer to a sanctuary different than some people. A sanctuary is not just a bedding area. A sanctuary includes your food plots, the food sources, doesn't matter if it's on public or private land, bedding areas, travel corridors in between, water holes, whatever it might be that is all deer all the time. That develops that big open contiguous space where you just stay out of. However, we have a lot of clients that we'll go to and they'll even say, can I just keep this one blind in the center of it all? Can I add one stand there? That's where I see the most deer. Well, of course you see the most deer there because you're not there. And it's interesting, that's what you end up seeing. You see this giant trend, and every property we go to, hundreds a year as a group, where the hunters don't go, you have the most rubs, most scrapes, most deer activity in general. It's because you're not there. And it could be that people are entering through the center of their 40-acre parcel, and then the only sign we see, or the best sign, is on the outer edges because they don't go along the outer edges. So I want to have an inside-out property where I hold deer on the inside and they go out. When I'm hunting on public land, I want to get to a blind or stand location, and I want to face a huge area where I don't think people have walked, my scent's not blowing into, I haven't walked, so I could potentially have a deer come out of that area, go through a funnel, and present a shot, whether it's with a bow or a gun. When it comes to your own land, it's different about public land. Public land, I can afford to make mistakes. I go into an area and I think I buggered it up, I spooked the deer, I left scent, I can just go a mile away to plan B or plan C. 2018, I shot a nice buck. I was out by myself in Pennsylvania, public land, like I love to go every year. Dylan, Jen, and I went out last year. I went out in 2019 too. Went out in 2018 and I went to plan A and I saw a flashlight. Needle in a haystack. Never seen anyone else out there since 1993, especially sitting in the morning before I get there. Saw a flashlight, someone getting ready, so I went to plan B about 3/4 mile away. Ended up shooting a nice buck a day later. The point is that public land, can afford to make some mistakes, you just go somewhere else. A lot less stress to me hunting public land. You just figure it out by paper, confirm with a little sign, and go hunt. And I'm not trying to diminish public land hunters or that style. I'm one every single year. A lot less stress, and I can afford to make mistakes. On private land, you cannot. Doesn't matter if you're hunting 500 acres or 50 acres or 5. When you make a mistake, deer typically run a half mile, especially a mature buck, before they settle down, and they're gone. They're not coming back. So you have to be very careful hunting in that core area, that sanctuary area. And I want to talk about how to do that safely. But it has to meet certain ingredients. Number one, access. Everyone talks about access. When you're getting into more of the center of your property, I want to make sure when I access, I am not accessing through bedding area, food sources, heavy travel corridors of deer, water holes. I'm not going by a water hole to get in and out. So that being said, a lot of times you look at a private land parcel and everything's kind of even. You haven't made any improvements. So in this case right here, we access from the side of the angle down through here. All open timber. Over here on this hillside, we've created acres and acres of bedding area by cutting, letting the sunlight come in. And then up the draw, about 150 yards, created acres and acres of bedding area. That creates a good dead zone right here. We don't have any water holes, any food plots. Our biggest food plot, one of the biggest ones, is right over here. We have other food plots up there that complement that cutting. So we come in through somewhat of a dead area in here. So when we come in, we can expect to get in and out without spooking deer because we're not going through any of their hot zones. We're not going through those bedding areas or food sources, water holes, any type of attraction to get in there. Point number two, so you have to have good access, low impact access. Doesn't matter if you're coming in the morning, afternoon, you're getting in there. Point number two, I want to make sure my downwind is safe. What I mean by that is we get to a stand location. In this case, not only do we not have cut bedding areas, food plots, water holes, cut travel corridors, any kind of habitat improvement, we have a gorge. So we have rocks, a steep gorge. They rarely cross in that area. In fact, they cross on the sides more often. That's super steep over here. It benches out better over here. In fact, behind Dylan over there, we found Venty's sheds from 3 years ago, back there on a little knoll where he was bedding down here. And this is where it benches off. So we're coming on the unfavorable habitat side. We're not blowing our scent into favorable habitat. In fact, it's almost blocked because of the ravine, and we can get down here. Now, I also, point number 3, I want to have something like this. We have a really nice water hole down here. We have to fill it. We'll get that filled right away. And I'm coming in here, and we're sitting in a stand location, and the deer have a very defined attraction to go to. No different than a real nice, say a real nice rub on public land or a scrape, where you know when you get into, there's a higher percentage of deer that are going to be on this side of the trail than actually downside of the trail over here where we're blowing our scent into it. So I really want to have a defined attraction. So it's not just random. I'm not coming in here and saying, well, I'm into a good spot, but they can be anywhere. They're here more because it benches off, better habitat for deer bedding on, moving through, steeper over there, no improvements. It's a gorge behind us where we blow our scent. So we have a really defined movement down here where we actually expect to see deer, hold deer, hunt deer, and most importantly, not spook them. So that's really critical, you know, how we access, where we're blowing our scent, also having this defined attraction. And then number 4, I really want to make sure when I come in here that I'm doing it at a time when I don't spook deer. This location right down here on the edge of bedding up there, bedding over here. I want to come in here, imagine all these leaves down. These deer, if I'm coming in here in the afternoon to come and sit in the afternoon for an evening hunt, really bad time to come in because they're already down here bedded. I don't know where they're at. I can't get out. I don't know. I'm going in blind. People talk, well, what's the difference between a morning and evening stand? When you sit in a morning stand and you want to get out, you know what deer are around you. You've sat there the whole morning. You can hear them, see them, you let them move on, and then you get out when the coast is clear. So I want to come into a place like this. It's interior, back in my cover, in the morning. I want to sit all day. This is an all-day rut stand, all-day gun season stand where I'm coming in early, sitting all day. And that means when I get back here, I want a comfortable stand. We have some stands like this. We use the family tradition ladder stands, superior comfort, awesome stand to sit in, very comfortable for all day. But at the same time, in a situation like this, we will use a stand. We actually had a ladder stand right over here, 20 yards away from where I'm talking, in a red oak. Dylan and I sat here for the first time on this property at all in 2020. That was our first sit on the property right over here. And we never sat it again because I just didn't want to get down here. We didn't have the improvements around here. We came in a different direction. We had a higher probability of spooking deer. And I would put a ladder stand down here in the same situation, but right now we have a nice redneck back there. And when you come into a setup like this, where it's a little bit more invasive, these scent containment blinds, although I still want to take care of my downwind, I still want to protect my scent, whole lot different with a scent containment blind where I can open one window or 2 windows at most for a shot and really leave a lot of my scent in the blind without it dispersing. So that's another point right there. You really can get away with a little bit more. I'm not saying a whole lot more. We don't know what the percentage is, but I'll get away with a little bit more of the scent containment blind as opposed to a tree stand. And when you put it all together, we want to get in here. We want to be able to stay all day, great access, somewhere to blow our scent, somewhere outside of all these improvements that we've made and in through that gut where we haven't done a lot of work because we want to get down here for a stand location. Took years to build because we built bedding areas in other areas so that less of a probability they're right here when we come in. Bottom line, it's getting set. It's late August right now. It's supposed to be close to 100 degrees today. It feels like it is already. Sweating like crazy out here. It's very humid. We will not be back here until the earliest, late October. But you can bet late October, November, this is where big buck dreams are made. And we're gonna watch it with the reveal camera right over there and see what happens leading up to that time. But we'll bring it to you later this fall. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. You're our best followers. You followed all the way to the end of the video. Really invite you to check out our website. We have our Earthway spreaders for sale, great Christmas presents. We're booking clients right now, all 5 of us. So by the end of December, it seems early, by the end of December, our schedule will be booked for 2025. It's hard to believe. I'm already booked for December and most of January, February. We have our web classes, the rut web class, how to design your whitetail property, and really important, hunting hills and thermals, understanding the wind. Those are great products on our site, all the books. Thank you so much for watching all the videos, buying the seed that you did this year. Really appreciate you.